Welcome to Creative Spaces Podcast with Guy Zwick, Chief Creative Officer of Highway 85 Creative. In each episode, we will discuss creative ways to define your space and build your brand.
We are rolling live at another, can't wait for this one, interview, sincerely, with a couple of industry professionals at the ExhibitorLive show. I'm joined, as always, on today's Tuesday by my co-pilot, Sean Green, the graphics manager of the entire shop here, right?
That is correct.
And our special guests are Allyson Shepard, Principal Strategist at Attendee Marketing Solutions. That tells a lot. And of course, Craig Coopersmith, founder and CEO of Exhibit Power LLC. Welcome to the show, Allyson. Welcome to the show, Craig.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Thank you. It's very impromptu, but we'd like to keep things casual as these things go. And I'm just going to jump right into it with our guest, Allyson. I'm going to start with you. Obviously, we know your name, but tell me a little bit about what it is that you do and why you're here.
I am a third-party strategist, meaning I'm independent. I work with exhibit houses and directly with exhibitors when they come to me, and I help them find value in their show program. I establish measurement methodologies. I help them decide, are they going to the right shows with the right size investment? And then I help them prove that their results are valuable and that their event marketing programs are bringing value to the organization, adding to the bottom line.
Beautiful. Now, so will you partner with trade shows and they sort of act as if you're one of their team members as it relates to the client sometimes?
Absolutely.
Like sort of a white label?
Absolutely. I work as an extension of the exhibit house's team. Okay. And work as their in-house strategist, appearing to the clients as I am part of that group.
Okay, beautiful. All right, thank you. And yourself?
Exhibit Power is changing the paradigm for the whole exhibiting industry. The exhibiting industry doesn't quite know that yet because we're just launching, but we've spent 12 years building a very, very complex and integrated operations management system to run an entire exhibit house, from inventory, warehouse management, client portal, art approval processing, project management, automated task planning, and we're sharing data so that the exhibiting industry has been really working in the dark ages for many, many years. Imagine that there are 13,000 project managers entering the same data over and over again for every show. Well, this is incredibly inefficient, and when I describe what Exhibit Power does to people outside of the industry, they say, I can't believe that no one's done this already. So with Exhibit Power, the entire industry will have access to shared information about every show, every venue, every decorator, every warehouse, every advanced warehouse in the industry, and we'll have incredible improvements. Project managers who look at Exhibit Power tell us it will save them 2 to 5 hours per week in time that they spend doing duplicative data.
What do you call it, a system, a program? What do you call it?
We call it an operations management system. So basically, I own Skyline Displays of Houston. We're one of the largest Skyline dealers in the world.
Okay.
And because we're in Houston, we weren't able to buy Exhibit Force many, many years ago because Bob Babine with 2020 wouldn't sell it to anybody in Houston. So we built our own. And we built something that's much better and much more robust, and we've been using it in Skyline Houston for many, many years as we've developed it, and we've been proving it out. And so we built a system designed by experts in the industry for the industry, and we're rolling it out commercially now. We have about 100 beta users that have been on it for the last couple of years, banging away as we continue to finish new modules, and now we're on version 4.5. It's completely commercial and ready to go, and we'll be releasing Exhibit Power 5 in the next few months, which is we're actually doing Exhibit Power 5 with the Roman numeral V, which stands for victory, because I've been designing this thing for 12 years.
So look at that, and just momentarily we have a brand new guest who's crashed the party, and we're very happy to have her. Would you please introduce yourself, Catherine, and tell us a little bit about who you are and why you're here. And by the way, nice to meet you. I'm Scott. Thanks for coming.
Nice to meet you, Scott. I'm Catherine Chestnut. I am a Diamond-level CTSM.
We heard about that. Beautiful.
Oh, what did you hear?
She was bragging that her friend was a Diamond level, and I joked that I'm in the clay stages right now. I'm getting there.
You're a candidate, is what you're saying.
Yeah, trying to be. I just can't spell diamond, so they won't let me in.
Graduated with my designation in 1998.
Okay.
And kept coming back.
Right.
The thing that was awesome about once I graduated is that now I could take sessions that either interested me or were relevant to a challenge that I was currently dealing with.
Wonderful.
But as a result of that, taking classes, getting more credits. I moved up the food chain,
Right.
so to speak, from bronze, silver, and gold. And then there were a handful of us that were begging for something more.
Right.
Like, give us something else to conquer.
Platinum or diamond. There you go.
Right.
So-
So how many Diamond CTSMs are there?
As of Sunday night, we added 3, and I believe it's up to 13 now.
That's all?
13
Wow.
or 14.
In the whole world.
In the whole
Congratulations.
universe.
Look at that. He's taking over my show,
Well,
too.
I
It's
have
well
to
done.
argue with that, though, because we really don't know what else is out there in the universe. So we can only limit ourselves to this planet.
This show is 12 minutes long. We're going to hold off on the exospace talk for now, in respect, but we'll just. So your main. Are you a consultant? Are you a freelance? What's your company's name? I missed that. Sorry.
I do consulting. I spent 20 years on the client side.
Okay.
And close to 10 years on the vendor side. But then 3 years ago, I opened up a co-working space in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
And it's interesting. I went to a co-working conference last May, and somebody was talking about how co-working spaces create an environment for an experience. And a light bulb went off from over my head, and I was like, that is why this is so awesome for me.
Okay. So that's that's your main. It's your main job, I guess, right now is to manage the co-working space.
Well, I own it,
Right.
but it's grown so much that yes,
Yeah,
I was
big part.
doing more consulting, and now I'm doing less consulting because I actually have a business to run that's beyond consulting.
And this nice woman who's sitting next to you and sharing the same mic. How did you guys meet?
Well, when I worked on the vendor side, I was charged with creating a strategic services division at that company,
Okay.
and that was awesome and fabulous, and it was just me.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Well, and that was fine until I just couldn't do it all anymore.
Yeah.
And went searching for somebody to help me and found Allyson, who is wicked smart and super brilliant, and she was a perfect.
Did you find her at the show at this event, or how did you guys meet up?
No, I think you reached out to us looking for freelance work or a position
Wow,
of some
nice.
kind.
I was introduced to Catherine through the creative department. I had
Right.
made contact with the vice president of creative and had offered my services, and it just happened that they really needed assistance in the measurement and strategy, and Catherine and I hit it off immediately.
Beautiful. Thanks for all coming. It's going to be a nice little fun conversation. One of the things that we like to ask our guests, and I think we talked about this yesterday a little bit, is specifically about the trade show industry. And we're here at an ExhibitorLive function. I'm going to ask you first. What are you most thankful about? What are you most thankful about when it comes to trade shows in the industry?
Right now, I'm really thankful that I am seeing a big demographic shift
Really?
in people joining this industry.
How do you mean?
The people that are becoming part of the exhibit industry are getting younger and younger.
Okay.
And for a long time, that wasn't the case.
Really?
And I feel like those people that are coming into this business are bringing a different perspective in terms of accountability in the industry. They have an expectation of lifelong learning, which I don't think previous generations necessarily had. With that expertise in the industry, they are making what we do more sophisticated on a day-by-day basis.
Cool. Great answer. Same question to you, if you don't mind.
I would say that the thing that I'm most grateful for about trade shows and face-to-face marketing in general is that you can never take away that face-to-face value, that element, that
It's
piece.
a common theme here, yes.
But the other thing for me as a marketer, discovering trade shows was that I found it and it became my passion because it was the one place where every medium of marketing had to come together in order for this face-to-face event to be successful.
Yeah, you draw a line in the sand. You can do a lot of things, like obviously with software, there's new bugs and there's new modules and there's new. When you do a trade show, you can't not show up, right? And so everything has to be there. So, Craig, I want to kind of step back and ask you the same question, but owning a Skyline exhibit shop in Houston for as long as you did, so you could say that trade shows has been your livelihood for quite some time as well.
Oh yeah, and Allyson, your comments were just such a perfect segue. My daughter is now president of Skyline Houston, And my daughter has been with us for 3 years, almost 4 years now. She started in sales and did really well. And she worked in industry. She worked in the oil and gas industry for 8 years as an engineer before she came to work for us. Her expectations of excellence are way above the industry standard. She built the automation and control system for the Exxon chemical plant in Singapore. Okay, this is big time engineering stuff. And she joined this industry and she's like, you're kidding. We still do it that way? You must be kidding, right? So she's been instrumental in driving Exhibit Power to a whole nother level because she can't work that way. And when you consider, so yes, I'm incredibly thankful for the industry making me, I've done quite well. and owning a successful Skyline dealer has made me, above average in terms of income, and I've been able to live a great lifestyle.
That's a great answer. I mean, and I appreciate it. We don't pop the pull punches. I mean, most people that are here, we talked about this, Sean, on one of the last guests we had on the show. If you're in the industry for more than a year or two, you gotta like the industry, right? And there's if you don't like it, you're not going to be
love
here.
it.
There's no in between. You either love it or you hate it.
It's a crazy industry.
Yeah.
And we're trying to make it less crazy. Let me ask you all this. With you two ladies here, I'll ask you this. As a Skyline dealer, I've been very fortunate for many years. Skyline's on-time quality delivery from their factory to their dealers is 99.4%. When we place an order with Skyline, we know we're going to get what we ordered on time, and it's going to be quality. Now, let me ask you this. What do you think the on-time quality delivery is for the industry to the show floor?
Not a clue.
Not 99%.
No.
Not 99%. What would you say it is?
Well, if we're being honest, it'd be probably, if you're talking about things getting there exactly the right time.
Exactly the right time, exactly what's supposed to get there to the right place.
I'm going to ask you later how you came up with the stats because it's going to be pretty, it's probably hard, but here's the thing. You have a lot of people like me who might have made a mistake in picking the wrong logistics house and sent FedEx instead of through some freight forwarder, yada, yada, yada. I'd say 60% at best.
Everyone I've asked this question to ranges between 50 and 75%.
Do you have an answer?
Yeah, I have an answer. That's what Exhibit Power does. Exhibit Power has all the tools to bring the show floor delivery for the industry from 50 to 75% into the 90s.
Not 1990s, 90%.
Into the 90% level.
Because we're trying to get past that.
So yeah, I got a little pitch in there.
No, this is part of it. This will go whatever direction we want. I would say this. So how about this? Industry. All right, I'm basically teeing this up for you. But if there's one thing the industry could do to improve on what it does, what would it be?
The industry is incredibly inefficient. Every project manager has to re-enter data that every other project manager already entered. So think about, there's 10,000 project managers in the industry, and they're all entering the show information over and over again. They're all entering the venue information over and over again. They're entering the decorator information, the advanced warehouse location. They're entering it over and over again. And they're all repeating the same information that could easily be shared by the whole industry. If we save 2 hours to 5 hours, every project manager that I've talked to looks at Exhibit Power and says, that will save me 2 to 5 hours per week. If we save 2 to 5 hours per week for every project manager in the industry just by sharing data and not having to duplicate it and think about how many errors are made in all of those duplicative efforts.
Sure.
If we save 2 to 5 hours per week per project manager, the impact on the trade show industry is $135 million per year.
Just based on hourly
Just
rate?
based on duplicative efforts.
You're selling it directly to
Exhibit houses.
Exhibit houses, okay. You work directly with clients, but mostly you work with other trade show companies trying to help clients out. You just help them make them look a lot smarter and sharper.
That's correct, yes.
You had mentioned to me offline or off the air that if you have too much business coming your way, you'll ask her if Catherine, she can help you. Is
Absolutely,
that right?
yes.
Okay.
I tap Catherine to help.
So Catherine, I want to ask you the question. Clearly, you're a big fan of the industry. What would you say is something that the industry can do to improve?
Well, it's interesting. I go into sessions. A lot of people come to our session about how can I measure and show value for some of the softer things that I do, as well as direct ROI on revenue. And every year somebody says, oh yeah, that's becoming a thing, like this accountability, this measurement
That
piece.
accountability thing.
And honestly, it's been a passion of mine for 20 years because I wanted to be able to show value of everything that I did because I knew it had value.
Right.
So what can the industry do is really get serious about setting some standards in terms of what are we going to get out of this? And not just from a client side, but push back on the vendors, push back on show management. Don't give me these fluffy prospectuses which don't do me any good, and I don't believe the information that's in them.
13 million visitors? No, you don't believe those stats?
No.
No, but that's a really good point. It's basically almost standardizing. Well, no, it's actually looking in the mirror and almost going back to what you were saying. Getting out from the 1980s and bring it back to 2018, right? Hold on. If you're going to go to a show, put your best foot forward. I mean, they've survived with that mantra despite where we want to go because of this. Companies still, to this day, go to trade shows because if they didn't, they'd be conspicuous in their absence.
Allyson and I have told clients, point blank, don't go to the show. Or you don't need a 50 by 50. You need a 20 by 20.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Your demographics have changed. You need to look at other face-to-face opportunities. Maybe it's a hospitality piece, or maybe it's just a sponsorship or something like that. But this old school way of looking at things.
On both sides, right?
On both sides. Yeah. Allyson is saying that the younger generation has higher expectations. I'm sorry. I'm Generation Jones, and I have that expectation.
I'm going to leave it at that. That's boom! She just dropped the mic. She left. She's running away. No, but here's the thing. Two episodes ago, Sean and I were talking to a guest, and the whole feeling of nickel and diming at certain trade shows came up, and I'm helping a client of mine managing a show in LA, and they bought this, they were a bronze sponsor. They bought this little kiosk that's about yay big and yay high. It's $15,000. They don't get a monitor with it, and it's that kind of mentality. It's almost like a money grab. Whereas if the organizers realize the value that their companies could have by being there, they could standardize it. They could help them with tools that say, hey, if you're going to show up for branding, do this, this, and this. If you really want to get leads, do this, this, and this. But to almost put an indoctrination around it. And that's what you're doing on the actual logistical side of things. You're just being a lot smarter and a lot more efficient.
I would also say that a lot of people, including I have a friend here who stepped it up this year, went from a 10 by 30 exhibit, which he's had for the last 10 years, and has a 20 by 20. Okay. And the first thing I said to him yesterday is, first off, you're holding out on me. You didn't tell me you were doing this. Like, good for you. And he goes, no, I want to go back to that. And I said, why? He says, well, my staff aren't doing, first off, people are just walking by. There's so many distractions. There's 4 sides to deal with now. And I said, well, your staff aren't engaging. I said, training, one word for you, training. And he said, the cobbler's kids have no shoes. And I'm like, no, dude, you can't do that. If you're going to invest, either do it all in or don't do it at all, because you will be wasting your money.
That's the independent part of things I like as an outside guy looking in, because you don't have to follow some rhetoric. You're like, no, don't do the show if it's not going to help you. You ask them, and part of the whole GPS kit that Highway 85's come up with is this sort of the same kind of thing, is before you go to the show, before you even think about going, ask yourselves the questions. What are we trying to get out of it? What's our message? What are we trying to do? What must be true for us to think this show's going to be a success? And then you work from that. And you would think that every person that goes to a show, because let's face it, you go to a trade show, you got a 20 by 20 in Chicago, and you're from San Francisco. Shipping, drayage, I&D, a sign, hanging, booth, travel. You're looking at $150,000 minimum for a 3-day show. Forget about the, people going out on a lash that and getting drunk and putting down the company expense account. The question becomes, what did that $150 get you? Oh, we checked the box. Not good enough anymore. Inefficient way of doing things is not good anymore. And I'd say, to echo what you guys are both saying, tell me if I'm way off base, is let's change things up by asking people why they're doing a show. And if they can't give you a real good answer, then they shouldn't go to a show.
Absolutely.
I think we're going to wind this down, but I would like to give each of you guys a quick chance to say, your company name and maybe the website.
I like to work with clients who believe that utilizing strategy and measurement will help them better their program.
Brilliant.
And that I love the idea that I can help the client look smarter to their boss.
The person you're looking for is an exhibit house that needs help explaining that to their clients.
A lot of times I work with small and medium-sized exhibit houses who don't have a full-time strategist or don't need to have a full-time strategist.
Brilliant.
Or I work with a large exhibit house who has overflow business or a competitive situation.
Fair enough.
So being able to connect with them in that way and helping them strengthen their relationship with the client is also something that's important to me.
Wonderful. Catherine, same question. I mean, if you were going to tell the listeners the kind of people that you'd love to work with, like your specific demographic or target, who would that be?
I mean, generally, because I can kind of pick and choose now.
No, but that's a beautiful thing. That's a great thing to get to. That's a good.
Is I want people who really know that I can help them make their program more valuable. I will tell them exactly what I think. I'm not going to hold any punches.
Right.
I'm going to say, I'm not going to say you're doing it wrong, but we could do it. We could do it better.
Sure.
From the South, I'll sugarcoat it a little bit.
Wonderful.
But I want somebody who's open to that and who's willing to ask the hard questions.
Fair enough.
And willing to accept maybe an answer that they don't want.
That's brilliant. Well said. And Craig, same to you. If there's a couple of key takeaways for our listeners to sort of remember about your company, let us know.
Well, who are the candidates for Exhibit Power? Exhibit Power is appropriate for exhibit houses of just about any size.
Any size? That's where I was going.
Yes, any size. Even small exhibit houses with less than 10 people. I mean, how are they organizing their information flow? How are they organizing their operations? Are they still using emails and spreadsheets and snail mail and driving themselves crazy? Are they interfacing with their clients in a professional way? And so we're taking the paradigm to a whole nother level. And what our vision is that the industry needs a kick in the pants. And we need to step it up as a whole industry and provide a higher quality experience for exhibitors. And we can only do that if we have the tools to manage our operations better and the tools to interface with our clients in a better way. And that's what Exhibit Power provides.
Thanks very much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Creative Spaces Podcast. For more information about Highway 85 Creative, visit us at highway85creative.com.